What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning back in to the Baby Step Breakdown. Again, you already know who it is. I'm Matthew, aka Kim Bone, aka Bonehead, aka Bonefish Grill, and this is my wife,
Jake.
Just Jake.
Just
She's boring.
Jake.
So this video is going to be baby step number 6, and we're going to talk about paying off your house early, how to do it, why you should do it, because there are many reasons
True that.
why you should, and it will cost you a lot of money if you don't. So it's beneficial. So we are going to go over ways and why you should do it and how you can do it. Okay, so without further ado,
Let's get into this video. Okay, so to start off this video, we're going to go over all of the ways that you can pay off your house early. Some no-brainer, some a little bit of something spicy in there for you, you know? Alright, so the very first thing you can do to save money, pay off your house sooner, is save more money before you buy a house. The bigger down payment you have does not equal the bigger house you buy. The bigger down payment you have equals the less you end up spending on interest later on. Alright?
Preach it.
So, bigger down payment is a super simple way to cut thousands of dollars off of what you're going to end up paying on your house. Try and pay for half of it up front. If that means buying a smaller home, do it. Alright? Another thing you can do is make extra small payments. So this is something like $100 a month. It adds up over time. It is crazy how much just a little tiny bit of extra money can add up so significantly in 15 to 30 years, depending on what type of mortgage you have. The other thing that you can do is bi-weekly payments. So no, you're not paying double mortgage, you're paying half twice a month or every other week, because there are 2 months a year where you will end up paying 3 of those half payments, which equals out to be an extra payment a year. This can shave off anywhere from 3 to 7 years off of your mortgage if you have a 30-year loan, depending on the interest rate. It's pretty crazy how one extra payment in a year can do that. And you don't necessarily even have to do bi-weekly payments. You could use extra income to make one extra payment a year, or multiple if you can swing it.
And remember, this is baby step 6. So to reiterate, you will have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And now
you're at 6. So your debt's paid off. You don't have all these other debts that you're paying.
So you have so much
you
money.
Yes, you have lots of money flowing in. You can put the extra payments on the house. That's a little accent. It blows in the wind, man.
Yeah.
In the wind. I love that.
But so you can put extra payments onto your home, whether that be one time a year or extra payments every single month. So it obviously all depends on what your budget is. You need to look at your budget, but I guarantee you there is room somewhere for you to cut back on something or switch stuff around so that you can add extra money onto your house, because the cost of not doing it is pretty crazy. Don't worry, we'll get there.
It helps too that if you don't make the mistake and buy a house so far out of your price range, you both make $100,000, don't, and you take home $6,000 a month, don't be buying a $6,000 a month house.
True that.
It's common sense.
That's actually my next point.
Huh, look at this, I'm
Look at
intuitive.
that. So buying a house you can actually afford. And I am going to real quick throw up Trulia right now and just walk you through. There is a really cool section on here that shows you exactly how much you can afford. If you can see, Trulia actually goes straight to about a 30-something% of that is what you can afford monthly to pay on a mortgage.
That's helpful.
That is not what you should be spending on a mortgage. You should spend under 25% of your take-home pay on your mortgage every month. So the really cool thing is you can slide this piece up and down, back and forth, and figure out what percent of your income gets you what payment per month and what you can actually afford. And it will show you what type of home, how much home you can buy with the down payment you have, the price you're wanting to pay per month, and then it gives you the actual home price that you can afford at that percentage, which is really
responsibly
cool.
Afford.
Because the
Just
bank
because
is
you
going to
get
give
pre-approved, that doesn't mean what you can afford.
The bank don't care about you. They want to make money off you. So don't let the bank rip you off. Don't let the bank take advantage of you because you don't know better. Know better, be better, do better. Do better with your house. Do better with your finances. So your home is going to be your biggest investment. And don't let the wants, because we all got the wants, don't let the wants take over. The other really big thing that you can do that's so important is most loans, if you didn't know, the interest is put on the front end heavy. So the more you can pay upfront on that mortgage, the less you're going to pay overall because it compounds over time and they hit you heavy in the first few years. So if you look, ask for the amortization of your loan. You will be blown
I didn't even know what that was
away. You will be blown away with how much you're paying in interest versus what's actually going to the principal. Because the first few years of you owning your home, if you don't make any additional payments or you don't do anything else, the amount that is going towards your actual principal is like nothing. But they're stacked up on the front end and you're going to end up paying more. So if you can spend the first 2-3 years of your loan just hammering down on it and then you let up, you're going to have made a huge impact on that loan. My very last little tip or trick is rent out space in your home. If you have an extra bedroom that you don't use, Airbnb it or find a friend who needs a place and have them pay you rent. You know, it's actually very common where I am originally from in Vancouver to have income properties. There was actually a show on HGTV about it where people turned like their basement into a suite that would make them money.
It's a great idea.
It's super common. Matt doesn't personally want to do it.
I don't
We've
trust
set
him.
ourselves up in a position where we necessarily don't have to do it. But if you are in a spot where you bought too much house, you can't make extra payments, you can't pay it down in any other way because you didn't do the smart things up front and you're already in the house, this is a way that you can make income to help you pay for it.
Yeah.
Renting out a space for a couple years is not going to kill you. It's going to give you extra money. It's going to be money that's placed on your home. Somebody else is paying you to help build equity and help build your net worth and help you pay down your house faster. So you have to kind of just take that as it comes of which one's more important to you, being financially free or having your fourth bedroom that has had nobody live in it for like 15 years.
If you can afford it, great. If you follow what the definition of affording means, because you don't want to do anything in life unless you have a why, right? So that
leads us into the next part of this video.
And I did not do that on purpose.
Why?
Yes, I did.
Why?
So you get out of debt earlier, you have more to invest, which is going to help you be able to get more money in general, help your retirement, help your investments, help your portfolio, and in turn that's going to be able to, if you have more money flowing in, that means you can buy more stuff, you can go on more vacations, you can buy that jet ski, buy that boat, buy that whatever you want. So
whatever your thing,
whatever you want to do, and that's where baby step 6 cuts off and it starts rolling into 7 is the why, because now you live and give like no one else. So you have more money to give, be able to help people out, and you know, donate your time and money and help the less fortunate and buy that boat or jet ski and do whatever you want. Take a pause, breathe, think about it, what you're gonna feel like in 5 years, because if you're working and next thing you know you're 60 years old and you can't retire because you have 2 car payments and a house payment, all this stuff,
you can't get back that time.
that's sad. I'm gonna be out doing whatever the heck I want to do, whether that's we start up a business or whatever I want to do. The whole point is freedom, financial freedom to do what you want.
And now we're going to go into what it will cost you if you don't do this. And this is where our actual numbers are going to come into play, because I just want to give you guys an actual tangible little bit, like case study kind of thing of how much, like it's mind-blowing how much interest you will pay over time on a loan. All right, so real quick, this is the case study that I have come up with. So you buy a house for $350,000 with a 3.5% interest rate, which is pretty reasonable, not super high, not the lowest that you can get them right now, but pretty average. So that loan, let's say you do a 30-year loan on that money. So $350,000, 3.5% interest rate over 30 years. You are going to end up spending around $565,000 on that house. Think about the house that you can buy for $350,000 and think about the house that you can buy for $565,000. I don't know about you, but in St. Louis, there is a huge difference between houses that you can buy for those two amounts of money. And I would rather buy a smaller home now, save up more money to then purchase the $565,000 house or cash. And to go off of that, you add on, let's talk about the little payments that we talked about in the ways to pay off sooner. So you put on $100 a month to that 30-year mortgage. You are going to end up saving more than $24,000 over the course of that loan by $100 a month. It's going to save you over $24,000 in interest.
Sounds like a good exchange there.
True dat. So let's up that a little bit. $500 a month that you put onto that loan. You're going to end up saving over $80,000 in interest. By just little increases in that monthly payment, you are going to get such good returns. It's going to be cray.
Again, that's on the $350,000 house at 3.5.
3.5%, 30
It could be
years.
more if you have a higher interest rate and your house is more.
True that.
You know, so obviously it's going to fluctuate, but
Yeah, there are tons of calculators online that you can go plug in your exact situation and see. Just play around with it. See what $100, $500, $1,000, $1,500
there's
will
one
do
on
for
Dave
you.
Ramsey's website too.
There sure is.
Go
We'll put
there.
a link for it down below.
Yeah, check it out.
But let's say you do an even smarter move than putting on extra payments and you have a smaller loan term. So same exact numbers, a $350,000 house at a 3.5% interest rate, which normally if you do a 15% loan, you will get a lower interest rate. However, for the case study purposes, 3.5% over 15 years, you're going to end up spending about $450,000 on that house. Still $150,000 more than what it should be, but you're still paying $100,000 less than the 30-year loan, which is like, just let those numbers sink in. Like $100,000. That's so much money.
Yeah. And your house doesn't go up in value because you paid interest on it.
True that. Yeah, like that just puts it in perspective, I think. I mean, that saves you, just by getting a shorter term, saves you over $100,000.
Like you said, you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
We didn't know until we learned, and when you know there's a better way to do things and you don't do it,
What's wrong?
pretty sure that's the definition of stupidity.
I don't know if that is or not, but it would be a good
It might not be
definition.
word for word verbatim, but in the dictionary. It is. If you know what's a better way, do the better way.
Do it.
It's gonna save your money.
Just do it.
Just
Like Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Do it.
Just do it.
All right. So I think that wraps up this video for us. We hope that you learned a whole bunch about how to pay off your home. Or if you haven't bought a home, hopefully this will give you some insight into what not to do when you do purchase a home.
And if you learn nothing,
comment and tell us that.
yes.
We'd like to know.
Tell us why you didn't learn anything. Maybe because you're smarter than us, and then teach us something. Like, subscribe, hit that bell.
All right, we will see you again on Friday for baby step number 7. Have a good week, everyone. Bye.